man. I actually was I was born in LA. I was born in Silmar. So
Really?
all my family lives over there, dude. I'm Mexican, so all my family's just right over there.
Dude, that's sick, man. Right on. Cool.
Hey,
So so
hey,
so you know the SoCal life. It's awesome.
yeah. Oh, of course, dude. Best Mexican food. I just love
Yeah.
seeing all my cousins, and all my family. When they immigrated over there, it was all that LA life. Factory working, painting, just that whole life.
Wow. That's some real shit, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, dude, my mom got to LA in a trunk of a car when she was 16.
Dude. It's
Yeah,
crazy like what our parents did like in their day so we could be born here. You know?
dude. Honestly, dude.
It's nuts.
Exactly, dude. And I never complain. You know what I mean? Like what
For
they
real.
did, so that way we have our freedoms, dude. Is way harder than we ever had to deal with. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
appreciate your family for sure.
I know, man. Your mom came down from Mexico. Mine came down from Texas. Like just trying to do something. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you so much for being on my show, The Metal Mixtape. I'm following your guys' live shows. I follow all your Instagram live feeds, dude, and you're a
Oh,
super
sick,
busy person, so I appreciate you being here, man.
dude. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry about yesterday. Usually, like my timing's pretty dead on, but I went to a friend's house for. They should have been a quick breakfast, but then that turned to an all day hangout.
Hey,
And then my girlfriend came over. Right, then they were drinking beers. You know, I was like, all right, I'm sorry, man.
hey, you know
Sorry
what?
about that.
I do. It's totally fine, dude. I feel like I was like Peter Parker, and I was looking for the Green Goblin, but he kept flying around.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
what's up.
you.
Cool. I'm here, baby. I'm
Hey,
here. It's
sweet.
cool.
So, dude, I love Suicide Silence, dude. I love your guitar playing. I love your
Thanks.
signature Fender guitar, dude. I think it's absolutely beautiful, dude. But I think what a lot of listeners and viewers they always want to know like how a musician got into liking music and if it was like maybe family inspired. Like, what inspired you to first pick up the guitar and what got you into music at a young age?
Yeah. So when I was like a kid in Pampers, which I'm actually at this house now, I was born and raised at this house, and I used to see my dad had like a Tex-Mex style band, and
Yeah.
they would jam in the garage. So I would be
Yep.
in Pampers like watching them jam. Then my mom would take me into like probably like the outskirts of LA to watch him play like these big halls and saw people dancing and shit. It was fucking cool.
Yep.
So I knew I wanted to play music, and from an early age, he taught me and my dad taught me like just play what you want to play from the heart, and that's how you get people moving.
Yep.
So right out the bat without knowing. So the older I get, the more that trips me out. It's like he didn't push theory on me. He didn't push any like books on me. It's like just play from the heart. And then, so for years I wanted to play music, but then when I first heard the band Korn, that was like, oh, like low tuning, groove, amps, just distortion, fucking. And
Yeah.
so I heard that record of Follow the Leader just dropped, and then right after that, Korn did a tour with Rob Zombie. Like right after I heard him,
Yep.
and the guy came around here, and my dad took me to go see him, and that was it. That was it. And I told my dad that's what I want to do. I want to be up there with Monkey, and then he bought me my first guitar right after that, which was he put a Fender Stratocaster in my hands. It's nuts,
Dude,
nuts.
I feel like that's a lot of people's first guitars, and it's insane. I remember
Yeah,
I was the same way, dude. My uncle, so my family, we own like 30 Mexican restaurants, so we're all about
sick.
like, yeah, we're all about like the Mexican food, dude. So I remember I started taking guitar class, and my uncle got electric Takamine Explorer, which they only made electric for 1 year, and then
Yeah,
he got like a Fender bass. And I remember he told me if I learned how to play Stairway to Heaven that he'd give me a guitar. And I remember I kind of learned how to play it, and he just handed me a guitar, dude. So I love I
That's
love
what's
that.
up.
I love that familyness, dude. So
Yeah,
you got your
huge.
first guitar. When were you joining like your first bands? Like, were you in high school? Were you like a teenager? Like, what
Yeah,
when did you decide that you wanted to be in a band?
yeah, that was early teens. When I got that guitar, I was 12 in junior high school. Then when I got into high school, yeah, when like I was jamming and like bands my freshman year, but it was still jamming trash, and my poor mom and dad would just hear like who knows, but it sounded like just people. We couldn't keep a beat. Like no, we didn't know anything. But the first band I joined that like oh shit we're playing shows like we're like driving to like LA and shit playing shows. That was 16, like probably sophomore year in high school. I played bass in a new metal band, and I joined them. And then at the same time, I was playing bass with a death metal band from people that went to my high school and also surrounding high schools, and we collectively started like a death metal band. And so yeah, that was sophomore year. And then for the new metal band, I wanted more blast beats, and they were like, nah, man. So they so they kicked me out. Slash, I left. My death metal band didn't want to do more groove, so then I left Slash to kick me out. So then that's how Suicide Silence was born. I stopped listening to people, started my own band, and then just did as many blast beats as we could with as many heavy grooves as we could. We just combined it, and it was probably around junior year in high school. I met the guys on AOL Instant Messenger. Yeah, from people that were from the neighboring town over here in Riverside, which is where Mitch was born and grew up. Yeah, that's a trip, man. So junior year was like really, when it really took off.
That's awesome. Yeah, and by the way, rest in peace, Mitch. He was a complete madman on that mic.
Yeah, it's the
So
best.
when you guys first started playing in Suicide Silence, um, was there a moment where you guys knew that you wanted to take this a step further and kind of like become like professional musicians and start playing these big shows? Or was that always a plan for you when you started the band that you wanted to play these big shows?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think bands are maybe kind of keep their distance and afraid like to voice their aspirations, but mentally, when I was a kid, that really separated Suicide Silence and my mindset. Even like some of my other band members won't admit this because they were the bands that I was competing with.
Yeah.
They were the best of their band, so I kind of stole them and put them in Suicide Silence. But yeah, I mean, but dude, like I was very competitive, and you know, I live walking distance from the Showcase Theater, which is like a legendary venue around here. Rest in
Yeah.
peace. It closed down 10 years ago, but we had amazing national acts really just down the street, and there's a lot of local talent, a lot of really great bands. So the bar was set pretty high, so that made me naturally like competitive, and I was a very quiet guy, and you know like right off the bat, like I accepted the fact that all the guitar players around me were better than me because it was true. Everyone was doing solos and shredding and all this cool shit, and I could barely play a few notes. But which is what my dad taught me. But since my music limitations made me to where I can't play anything technical, then all the riffs I did were pure 100% feeling and heart based.
Yeah.
And so try not to get all woo woo, but like I knew how to play from my bones when
Yeah.
what other people didn't do that. So when like you have a guitar player like myself that just plays from like literally like his bones and his heart, like that stands out. And so moments like that to me, I was like, other bands don't have a chance. They don't. They have no fucking chance. And that's the mindset it took. There were so many great bands from around here, dude. Like from bands like The Final Burden, Bound in Blood, from around here. They're really great. And so yeah, we had to play like it was our last show, and then and the connection between me and Mitch was like unstoppable. So that was like the early stages of like like we're gonna take this outside of the city, the state, and the country. And we're like, 17 and shit, like stupid little kids just with these big dreams. But yeah, it stuck. It stuck, and people were latching onto it. And I think it was because, like, at the time, Mitch was having lyrics that were very feeling based and like real, like personal issues. So that in death metal, as what we call now deathcore, I guess, like that was non-existent. Like real lyrics and like personal experiences on paper on a death metal band was pretty much unheard of. Plus, of my riffs that are just very feeling based, that pretty much set the bar. Then we're still doing that, and we're still setting that bar. It's cool.
Dude, I think that's beautiful, Chris. It's funny that you say that because I was talking to JJ French. He's the founder of Twisted Sister, and yeah, and he said that like he knew right off the bat, like there in the '80s, that he wasn't like the most shredding guitar player, but that he loved it so much that he was willing to work harder than everybody else to get where they wanted to be, And one thing I learned about Twisted Sister too was that whole band, they're actually a straight edge band. Nobody ever drank, nobody ever smoked, and everybody and they actually went through like 10 different lineups before he found D. Snyder, and D. Snyder wanted the same thing as him, like be sober. But the thing is that he knew from the beginning that all of their music was just emotional based, like kind of like what you said, playing from the bones. That it was all emotional based, and that he was very competitive and worked really hard. So I think that's that's a real important trait to have, like in trying to be a successful musician, but also like being really passionate about it.
Totally, passion and persistence will beat any level of talent. Like talent, like when talent is up against pure passion, like passion will always win. Because shit is life. Shit will go wrong, and then what's gonna happen when I don't know, like life happens. Like there's no money, girlfriends are dumping you, people are dying. Like it's the passion that you wake up and I'm going. And no amount of practice can accomplish that.
Yeah, I agree, man. So with Suicide Silence, was there a big plateau show that you played where like it kind of like made everything really real for you, like surreal, like maybe like a big show where you're just like, oh man, like Suicide, like we're actually like on this next level now? Was there a big show like that made that statement for you, where it made you nervous and kind of made you realize that like the dream is really coming true? Did you ever have a show like that?
Yeah, there was a couple. Luckily, like our first record, like The Cleansing, really took off like really right out of the gates, and that's because we were touring full time before we even signed. So we got really lucky to not be forced into like a record contract that forced us anywhere. Like literally, our first tour was our first full U.S. tour was with All Shall Perish, Nights Like These, Like the City, Too Pure to Die, and we were headlining. And we weren't signed. We didn't have a record out. They were all signed, had records in stores. I remember like someone on that tour saying like we went to Best Buy during like some off time. He's like, where's your CD in the store? That's like I mean we're all kids, but like I don't think he really knew what he said. But in my mind, like, wait, you motherfucker, I'm gonna wipe all your shit out when our record comes out. And mentally, I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
But we got big from the MySpace. So we learned pretty early on. So all right, getting signed, having a record in the store won't do shit for us because we're headlining and we're drawing all the kids. So right off the bat we learned like, okay, like we could be self-contained, and we could put out our own word, and then sure enough, like labels started coming to us. So we were very fortunate and so blessed to like be able to choose. Then once our record came out, like the Cleansing, we were already established. It did a great first week, and sometimes timing just aligns. And that was 2007. That same month, that was when like I remember hearing like through our manager, hey, there's this guy named Kevin Lyman that books Warped Tour, and his friend John Reese, they want to put together a metal festival, kind of like Ozfest. We're like, all right. And then like a couple months later, we get this tour offer, and it's for the first ever Mayhem festival.
Oh yeah.
The first one in 2008 was Flipmod and Disturbed, and we got the offer, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
and then when that tour actually happened was in summer 2008. Going to the venue where I used to see Ozfest, and we go from playing like these clubs to now we're in front of 15,000 people in our hometown. I was like, dude, this is fucking nuts, man. This is really nuts. And then the following year, our second record came out. Then our first tour off that was with Slayer, and that was our first time in a arena. Like so we're opening up for Slayer, and then all of a sudden, like we're in a fucking arena. It's like, dude, this is like, how did this happen? This is fucking nuts, and it happened really quick. In my opinion, it happened too quick, and we got very. It was hard to keep like a level head, you know. But yeah, those were the two shows. I was like, damn, this is getting out of hand. This is
for
nuts.
sure, dude. So like you were saying, like being so young and having all this attention, how at that age, how do you go about choosing the right label if you're getting all these offers? Like did you guys have like your parents' help, or like did you guys have like a band meeting? Did you guys like have any outside help trying to help you figure this out? Because I couldn't imagine being like that young and then having all these labels trying to sign you. How'd you go about doing that?
So we got lucky. I think I never thought about this, but it just stems from like early childhood shit, man. Everything you do is subconscious. And when we first started out, Suicide, like, you know, we're 16, 17. And without knowing, we were both really confident in what we were doing. And we knew what we were doing because we could see the reaction from people. Literally, like, national acts would tour the showcase, and people would be talking about us out after the show's over, and seeing and feeling like the energy in the city, like, moving. Like, you really feel like, dude, there's some shit going on. And so maybe like that gave us like not a false sense, but a very secure confidence, and just keep doing what we're doing. That attracted our manager, which is still a manager to this day. He saw us at Showcase Theater, and he used to work at Prosthetic Records at the time, and his name was Jerry Club. So we kind of attracted each other, and he had label experience, and he was also very smart. You know, he was a very smart guy, still is a smart guy. And once labels started coming in, like, we kind of didn't care. It was
Did I lose you?
Huh? Hey.
Oh, you're back.
Omar?
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry, Omar. Yeah, so I don't know why we. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, cool. Sorry, Omar. So yeah, I'm not sure why we did that. We were pretty confident from the start. Confident, but not delusional. We were probably confident in the work that we put in, because we worked harder than any band around us, and I knew that from the heart. Like, these guys have no chance, and that kind of gave us, like, you know, some confidence, maybe, like, and also, like, okay, so when we put out, literally, this has been going on since, like, our demos. Like, our first demo comes up. When we would release a demo, copycat bands would start around our area. So, like, that kind of, like, gives you the sense, oh, wait, like we're doing some crazy shit right now. What we're doing, and one of those copycat bands was from a town over. They got signed to a big label, and we heard what a nightmare that was right off the bat. All right, okay, and everyone, all the bands that took our sound and made records and got signed before us, we took our time. We took our time, and we didn't rush anything. We didn't rush our record or getting signed. I don't know why we did that. It was just I guess because we were too busy just doing it, too busy touring, too busy doing our thing. And then once multiple labels were coming in, we had options, so we weren't in, like, the scarcity mindset. Oh, we have options. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just choose, like, who we want. And sure enough, that's what happened. And we're very lucky we had some options. And lucky I was in a band with guys that weren't, scared or had the scarcity mindset when the bands around us, did sign to the first label that they could. And it's crazy how things pan out, man. It's really crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Life's nuts, dude. So,
Yeah.
playing all these big shows, was there an idol that you got to meet that like maybe like gave you a certain compliment to you that kind of like really made your day, that like you were just like, oh man, like I'm actually like talking to this person, and it's like it kind of like normalized itself. But like, was there like an somebody you looked up to that you got to meet that was like totally blew your mind and they were totally awesome when you talked to them?
Oh yeah. I mean, my favorite band's Korn, and my
Yeah.
favorite guitar player is Monkey. He's like Monkey's why I play the instrument. So, we've been lucky to do tours with them, and we did that 20-year anniversary tour with them when they did their celebration of the self-titled record, and they took us out, and I met him prior to that, but only in passing, very briefly. Like, it's like, holy shit, that's Monkey, dude, Jesus. And he's kind of similar to me. Like, he's very like to himself, introvert. But man, like whenever like we would cross paths, he would just drop some fucking wisdom knowledge, and he taught me like, I was like at that point we were pretty late in our career. Like I was late 20s, so it took us a while to get to that point to tour with him. And man, he would just drop this shit on me, and like he taught me like it's not about the time you spend with someone, is the quality of time, and this the quality of time I spent with him like beats any hours or years I've known people. Like he would just, if it's a minute, we have 5 minutes, he would just pure knowledge and wisdom, and then he'll just walk away. I'm like, holy fuck, dude, that was Monkey, and he's giving me his insights and his tricks in his toolbox to help me and help the band. Like what, like an honor, you know. So literally everything he's ever said to me, dude, has been like, I don't think he even knows this, but everything he's ever said to me, dude, I just replay in my mind constantly, and
Oh,
just I use it. I use his advice, and yeah, it's crazy when someone gives you advice, because I don't think when someone gives advice, I don't think they realize what they're giving and how much work that requires to take that advice. And his advice, that we're talking like I'm still like using his advice like years later, and the amount of work it takes just to apply that advice, and how long it takes to actually truly use it and use it in your own way. It took me years, years. Like he gave some tips about how to play, how to strike the string, how to how the sound of the speaker is your voice, and how to get your voice out. It's like stuff like that. How to apply that, dude, has taken years after we've had the conversations, and I'm still doing it. But that's cool, man. Yeah, he's the fucking man, dude. I mean, all those guys in Korn, dude, they're really stand-up guys, and I'm obviously a Korn fan and a big fanboy. They just let me be a weirdo. Every time I see them, I fucking fan out, and they just let me be a weirdo. So they're all cool guys.
dude, that's awesome, dude. So, dude, you guys have been doing music for so long, and then of course, with the passing of Mitch, when you guys brought in Eddie, was like there a certain like, um, a certain way you had to tell him like the band had to be, or like did he plug right in?
He plugged right in, being like we're already friends for so long at that point. Given like we did that All Parish tour, 2006. So him and Mitch were like close friends, and so we knew him. So he plugged in as a friendship level, but I don't think he realized the amount of work it was going to take. And he's still trying to figure out his way in the band, because the amount of time that Mitch put into it, it's going to take you probably equal, if not longer, amount of time to find your spot in the band. So yeah, it was a combination of both. I think he's still trying to find his way, and I knew right off the bat, like since day one we were talking about him joining the band, I knew like this is going to take multiple.
Hey,
I
don't worry. I won't take too much more of your time.
Are you fine? Are you fine? I'm on any I'm free till 12, so we got another 30 minutes, so I'm cool on time.
So you were talking about how like you yourself also were like acclimating to like Mitch not being around and you having to do the music with Eddie.
Yeah, so usually like I think what made Suicide sound so special, which is also what made SS so polarizing, is the riffs were so easy. And it's just those simple riffs that just stay in people's heads, and that either makes people love it or make people hate it. But that gave Mitch room to like spit his shit, in like in his fashion. So the simple riffs combined with like his vocal style was like that was Suicide Sounds. And then I try to do it with Eddie. It's just not that way. So yeah, I learned, I got to evolve as well with a new singer and Eddie's vocal style, and it seems to be like I need to start maybe putting a little bit more oomph and more guitar driven into our records, where it's like our past records are like, I'm supporting Mitch, and I knew my role, I know my ego, I know my spot in a band. I'm happy to do that. But now it's like, I guess I could even say, I can't hide behind Mitch anymore. I need to be like, which is why I'm doing like the live streams and like talking to people more. I'm like, wait, I can't approach this like I did with Mitch. He was the face of the band. He was 50% of Suicide Sounds, and I can't do it anymore. Now it needs to be spread out evenly between Eddie, me, Mark, EK, and Alex, and that took a while to learn. And I'm doing that now. It needs to be more guitar driven now as opposed to vocal driven. So maybe if I do that and approach it like I'm writing for Eddie, then maybe he could spit out more of his style, and then maybe that will be the key that fans can start to latch onto now.
For sure. No, I dig it, brother, and it's totally understandable. So I see now like with you guys being down in quarantine that you guys been doing a lot of like live streaming, right?
Yeah, we got this crazy idea that we're literally in the last week of. It's been fucking insane. So yeah, we got into the virtual realm, and we're trying to figure it out on a daily basis. And it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah. I bet it's kind of hard to like replicate the same energy as you would live because I know the fans usually feed the band the energy.
Yeah. So we're just trying to figure it out in real time how to transfer that into the virtual realm, the internet realm, and yeah, our manager had this crazy idea to do a virtual world tour. We're like, okay, let's fucking figure it out. And the amount of work that it's taken definitely took us all by surprise. And even if bands tried it, because bands are going to copy the idea, which is what we want. I want that. I want to see bands thrive during this time. So I hope that the idea, people could take the idea, do their own thing with it, hopefully, and then we could all, as a community, thrive from it. But yeah, the amount of work behind the scenes has been fucking insane. And so yeah, we're like, okay, like let's do 2 shows a day. So we could do, because the time zones allow that to happen. You could do a live show at 4 p.m. here. That's going to air in New York at 7 p.m. And at 7 p.m. here, we do a live show. The air is, so the time zones gave us an opportunity to do 2 shows. So we tried that, and it's a hard lesson to learn. That's probably not a good idea. And the body's just like, the body and the back are like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? And, so next time we'll probably do 1 show a day as opposed to two shows a day for a month straight. It's been fucking nuts.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
So all right, dude. I'm kind of running out of time. So thank you so much for talking to me. So we're gonna get to the last segment of the interview, which is kind of fun. So cool. I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds to answer each question. Are you ready?
Let's do it, man.
All right. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice to kill zombies? If you could have any weapon.
Any weapon? Huh. It has to be like, it has to be a far range automatic shotgun. It has to be, because I don't want to be close to them. I want to be far away, but I still want to like take them all out,
All right. Is there a superhero or super villain that best represents your personality, or somebody you see that you can be?
Huh. It's hard to answer that because you know how we all like we kind of relate to some superheroes or villains for like,
Yeah,
you don't know why.
yeah.
I Joker a lot and I have no idea why. It's just so I gotta say the Joker and I don't know why I'm so drawn to that dude.
Like,
Weird.
all
That's
right, dude.
cool.
If there's one band you could play one show with, in any time era, who would it be? Like I'm
Whoa.
saying, like play on stage with.
Yeah. I'll probably be Nirvana.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just to be a part of that era and like see Kurt Cobain just fucking destroying his shit. That'd be so fucking cool.
All right,
Man.
dude. Is there one food you hate the most in this world that you can't even stand the smell?
You know what? I don't know if I can answer that now because I had it last night. Is I love pepperoni pizza, and I hate any topping that people put on top of that to ruin an already beautiful thing.
All right, I love it, man.
So, yeah. So,
Well, hey, man.
anything that goes on top of pizza, yeah, I hate it.
I'm with you, man. So I want to thank you so much for being on my show, The Metal Mixtape. Thank you for making time, dude. You're an inspiration to a lot of people and the heavy genres. Can you do me one favor before I let you go?
Let's do it, man.
Can you say this is Chris from Suicide Silence, and you're listening to The Metal Mixtape?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Yo. Okay. This is Chris from Suicide, and you're listening. Hey, let's do this.
All right. Hey.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that works. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
You have a great day, all right?
You too, Omar. Thank you for having me, dude. It was fucking fun, man. See you, brother. Later.